Natalie was a little girl with bright, curious eyes and two bouncy pigtails that danced when she walked. Tucked under her arm, everywhere she went, was her best friend, Barnaby. Barnaby was a fluffy brown teddy bear with one button eye and a very soft, huggable tummy. One sunny morning, Natalie and her family, with Barnaby packed safely in her little red backpack, flew on a big airplane all the way to a country called France. "We're here for a whole week, sweetie," said her mom. A whole week? Natalie squeezed Barnaby's paw. That sounded like a very long time for an adventure. Their room in the city of Paris had a big window, and peeking over the buildings was something tall and pointy. "What's that?" Natalie whispered to Barnaby. It looked like a giant metal tower touching the clouds. On Tuesday, they went to see that giant tower up close. It was called the Eiffel Tower. "Bonjour," said a man with a friendly smile, which Natalie learned meant hello in French. They got into a little box that went up, up, up. Whoosh went the elevator. Natalie's tummy felt tickly. From the very top, Paris looked like a toy town. The cars were like tiny beetles, and a long, wiggly river snaked through the city. "Wow," Natalie breathed, holding Barnaby up so he could see too. On Wednesday, the smell of something warm and delicious led them to a special shop called a boulangerie. A baker named Pierre, with a big white hat and flower on his nose, greeted them. "Bonjour," he boomed. Natalie's dad bought a long, crunchy bread called a baguette. It was so long, Natalie could almost use it as a walking stick. They took the baguette to a beautiful park with green chairs and a pond where children sailed little toy boats. Natalie shared a piece of the crunchy bread with the ducks. "Yummy, yummy for your tummy," she told them. On Thursday, they went for a boat ride on the Wiggly River, which was called the Seine. The captain, whose name was Jules, wore a blue and white striped shirt and a sailor's hat. He let Natalie pretend to steer the big wheel for a second. They floated under old stony bridges, and Natalie and Barnaby waved to all the people walking above them. The water shimmered in the sunshine, and the boat chugged along gently, rocking them like a cradle. On Friday, they went to a very big building full of paintings. It was a museum. In one room, there was a painting of a lady with a secret, gentle smile. "She knows a funny secret," Natalie whispered to Barnaby, who was peeking out of her backpack. After the museum, it was time for a special treat, crepes. They were like thin, floppy pancakes. Natalie got one with melted chocolate and bright red strawberries. It was warm and sweet and a little bit messy. She got chocolate on her nose, just like Pierre the baker had flour on his. On Saturday, they found a shop with windows full of colorful little cookies. They looked like tiny, bright jewels. "These are macarons," her mom explained. There were pink ones, green ones, yellow ones, and brown ones. Natalie chose a pink one that tasted like raspberries and a brown one that tasted like chocolate. They were crunchy on the outside and chewy on the inside. She carefully gave a tiny crumb to Barnaby. "A sweet treat for my sweet bear," she said. On Sunday, it was time to go home. Natalie packed her little red backpack. She put Barnaby inside, right next to a tiny toy Eiffel Tower she had picked out for him. As they drove to the airport, Natalie looked out the window one last time. She saw the pointy top of the Eiffel Tower and the beautiful buildings. She didn't feel sad. She felt happy and full, like her tummy after a warm crepe. She hugged Barnaby tight. "Merci," she whispered to the city of Paris. She knew that meant thank you. Thank you for the big tower, the crunchy bread, the boat ride, and the rainbow cookies. Au revoir, Paris. That night, tucked in her own bed back home, Natalie told Barnaby all about their adventure. She remembered the tickly feeling in the elevator, the taste of the warm baguette, the lady with the secret smile. France was a wonderful place, and she knew that the memories of her wonderful week would stay with her and Barnaby forever. If you enjoyed the story, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.